8 with Brent Eklund. KJCT News 8 at 10.
Light up the sky as the second Grand Junction Church in 2 days is engulfed in fire. The latest fire, like the previous one, appears to be arson. Good evening, I'm Brent Eklund. Thanks for joining us. The investigation continues to find out how the Lutheran Church of Messiah caught fire late last night. As KJCT News 8's Dan McClintock reports, there are signs the fire was started intentionally.
Portions of the Lutheran Church of Messiah in Grand Junction literally exploded in flames last night. Firefighters from Grand Junction, Fruita, and Clifton responded with 9 vehicles to a blaze which many are calling suspicious.
One of the officers indicated that there was forced entry, that they got here before the fire department, and that there were 2, 3, 4 places in the interior of the church and the basement where fires had been set.
Fire department officials confirmed there was a fire in the basement of the church. They don't know for certain if the heat from it worked its way up to the sanctuary and roof.
We couldn't enter the basement because of the heat. And after 30 minutes, when it flashed over on the shake shingle roof that you have pictures of, we called it a defensive fire and started attacking it from the outside. The only thing that really would have saved this building at this point would have been an automatic sprinkling system if it would have been installed.
Nearly 50 firefighters worked on the inferno. The fire was so big, paramedics checked firefighters continuously for exhaustion. The building is valued at more than $1 million, with conservative losses of nearly $700,000. Firefighters battled until 4 o'clock in the morning when the fire was finally brought under control.
It's tragic. It's foolish. Absolutely foolish. To look at that building and see God's house burning up, the Lord will provide and we'll come back stronger with His strength, but it's ridiculous. It really is.
Let's hope that it draws our members closer together. Something like this maybe will really help the church rather than hinder it.
This is all that's left of the church, nothing but a burnt-out sanctuary. The school next door suffered heat and smoke damage. But what angers firefighters even more than a suspected arsonist is that they could have fought and possibly won this fire if there were sprinklers and fire alarm systems. But under current city fire codes, a fire alarm is not needed for buildings built before 1985. In Grand Junction, I'm Dan McClintock, KJCT News 8.
As a result of last night's fires, classes at the adjoining Lutheran School of Messiah have been canceled for at least a week. School administrators are looking for a temporary location for classes.
The school has had some heat damage and smoke damage into the church offices and into the school. And then the water. There was about a layer of water about a foot or two high that they drained out this morning.
There are 76 students enrolled at the Lutheran School from kindergarten through 8th grade. In light of the 2 fires, clergy of many faiths scheduled security checks for their churches today. A group of clergy gathered today in Grand Junction and asked for stepped-up police patrols.
The first erupted Sunday in the Wesleyan Church. The second burst last night in the Lutheran Church of the Messiah. Both fires started in the basements of the buildings. Officials say there was evidence of a break-in at the Wesleyan Church. There were also signs that the door at the Lutheran Church had been forced open. No injuries.
In less than 48 hours. The latest fire was at the Lutheran Church of Messiah Monday night. Investigators suspect arson. Police say stepped-up patrols at churches are difficult because of manpower shortages.
We're aware that the arsons have occurred, and because of that we are paying special attention to the churches in the different areas. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury to have extra officers and be able to station them.
Several churches are holding meetings this week to evaluate security procedures. Representatives are working together to prevent any more fires from starting. Leslie Uncle has more.
Today, the Grand Junction Police Department met with approximately 10 churches to discuss how the churches can better protect themselves from fires, burglaries, and vandalism. The police department says it doesn't have enough officers to protect all the churches in the Grand Valley area. Many of the suggestions given were very basic in nature. Proper lighting and proper locks on doors are a must. Police also said to remove any possible hiding places that suspects may use to hide from police. And finally, to check the interior when leaving to make sure no one is inside. Many of the churches are not equipped with alarm or sprinkler systems and do not intend to install them due to cost.
Now, we could put all the electronic stuff on there, but that would cost a lot of money. And we don't have that kind of money to do that with. We have had some people, in fact, the other night some of our people came out and spent a little time looking around, checking to see what goes on. But in a volunteer organization, you can't keep that up all the time. So it would be rather difficult to make sure you were totally secure.
No one knows for sure why these fires were set or why those two churches were chosen. However, one thing is for certain. Many churches hope these fires will stop so they can continue to provide their services to the community.
Well, at some point in time, he's going to make a mistake. And what we're doing is soliciting the people of the community, people that live around the churches, the people that attend the churches, the people that work in the churches, to keep their eyes open. So at some point in time, he's going to get caught. It's just a matter of time, and, you know, we're going to be there.
Police have a few leads in this case, but not enough concrete evidence to make an arrest. If you have any information that may help police, please contact Crime Stoppers at 241-7867. In Grand Junction, Leslie Uncle, KJCT News 8.
With the recent string of church fires, the Grand Junction Fire Investigation Team has been busy. Their job is not only to investigate possible arson, but to find the cause of the fire as well. KJCT News 8's Debbie Rich talked with the investigative team at the Lutheran Church of Messiah this morning and found their job as a lengthy process, but well worth the time.
Fire investigators say it was definitely arson that started the fire Tuesday night in the Messiah Lutheran Church. Investigators have completed their work on the exterior portion of the church and are now working their way through the inside of the charred building. The procedure is a time-consuming process as they dig their way through layer after layer of debris.
Basically, as the fire burns, and in this church there was significant damage due to the height of the church and the size of the structure, as the fire continues to burn, items fall off ceilings, walls, and they fall down on top of the fire, and they basically almost protect the evidence, if you will. And as it burns down lower and lower and lower, then you have more and more material that builds up on the floor. And then we're in the process now of taking off the debris layer by layer, trying to get down to the point where we can determine what actually happened.
It's hard to believe that something can be found and identified after a fire like this, but fire investigators say that to a trained eye, even a match can be found.
It's a real meticulous process. The evidence really isn't destroyed as a lot of people think it is. The color's changed, the form has changed, but if you look hard enough and if you're meticulous enough, you can find it. And that's the process that we go to. That's why it takes several hours, and it's a real long process. Once we get to that point, we can look at fire patterns, we can look at possible accelerants that were being used, timing devices. We take everything into account. In addition to looking for arson, one of the things that we try to do is eliminate accidental sources.
The investigative team now believes there were several fires started in the church. They are taking samples to determine what the suspect used to start the fire, but they say it was definitely intentional. In Grand Junction, Debbie Rich, KJCT News 8.
Federal
Who are you with, sir?
I'm with the church here.
Well, I can't have you back here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Get too tired. Man, official act to do.
How you doing, Johnny?
KJCT News 8, Western Colorado's news source.
Left a Grand Junction congregation without a church. As KJCT News 8's Pat Hambright reports, the congregation will look back on this Easter with the fondest of memories.
It was one of the most dramatic fires in Grand Junction history. The Lutheran Church of Messiah, totally destroyed by an arsonist in September of 1989. Although this fire was one of many during an arson crime spree that fall, it was by far the worst.
It's tragic. It's foolish. Absolutely foolish. To look at that building and see God's house burning up. The Lord will provide, and we'll come back stronger with His strength.
And come back they did. Today, for the first time since the blaze, Sunday services were held at the Church of the Messiah. A packed house attended 2 Easter morning services, almost 19 months since the last service was held here.
Our congregation stuck with each other, you know, even though we've been out of our home here for 19 months.
People were so anticipating and so hoping and praying, and what a day to be home. Resurrection, and this is a resurrection too.
The most interesting aspect about the rebirth of this church is that there was almost no discussion about the fire, only conversation involving how thankful everyone is to finally be back home. In Grand Junction, Pat Hambright, KJCT News 8.